I want to thank you men for volunteering to go on this mission. As you know, our ship, the Black Goat, is completely stuck in the singularity bubble. No transmissions can escape. In order to call for help, we need to pierce the bubble with a communication ship and set up relay satellites. Tracy, our onboard computer, is now capable of operating independently of the Black Goat thanks to Dr. Landon. She will be fully in charge until you emerge from the bubble. But if you can't return, we've loaded your ship up with supplies enough to survive until help from Earth arrives. I hope to see you all soon back on our moon base of Puro, but if you can't return, know that we all owe you an unpayable debt. Tracy, do you read?
Yes, Captain. All systems online and awaiting your command.
Transferring control to you. Tracy, you have full command authority. Men, drop those satellites and get back here.
Engines fully engaged. Gaining speed, adjusting inertial dampeners. Impacting singularity bubble in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Picking up speed. Acceleration is now out of control. Engaging deep sleep emergency pods. Emergency. Emergency.
Ugh. Tracy, what's going on?
Fuel supply nearly exhausted. I require guidance from crew.
Fuel supply nearly exhausted? What do you mean? We just launched. Tracy, time since launch?
2 years, 9 months, 2 days, 3 hours and 5 minutes.
That's impossible. Why were we put in deep sleep?
To survive from the exit velocity of the singularity, but your bodies required emergency deep sleep. It was an unforeseen event.
So we did escape it. Tracy, launch the relay satellites now. Well, Ensign Malkin, these are our best chances to make planetfall.
And you're sure there's no way back to Tovalyn?
No, we don't have a small fraction of the fuel that would take.
So basically, we have to pick a planet to land on and wait to get rescued by Star Command?
Yeah, that seems to be the short end of it.
What choices do we have?
This one is large and mostly water, as with all the planets in the galaxy, devoid of life. Just water and rock. The second option isn't our best choice. It's tidally locked, so we'd have to choose life in insufferable heat or freezing cold. Not ideal. Okay, now this one is weird.
Weird how?
Our long-range scans show a mix of O2 and CO2 in the atmosphere, but this is the amazing part. Along with phosphine.
Why is that amazing?
Well, our scientists have always thought that the presence of phosphine could signal the presence of life. As you know, we live in a cold, dead universe, so that's pretty amazing.
Well, given two terrible choices and that one, it seems pretty obvious.
Agreed, Ensign Malkin. Let's do it. Tracy, set course for planet number 3. "100 days Minecraft hardcore in a medieval world. Oh man, on the Kingdoms of Conquest server." Let me tell you just a little bit about what that is. iLikeToGetRekt, who's a good friend and Twitch streamer, started a survival Conquest Reforged server. Up until now, it's not really been feasible to play this amazing mod in survival. So he made a data pack that puts all of the special Conquest Reforged blocks, that's over 8,000 of them, into the stone cutter basically, and makes them all survival friendly. Rekt invited a bunch of friends to come play on the server with him, and a group of us splintered off and decided to transform this island. And when I say island, I really mean continent. This place is huge. We're going to be transforming it into a string of different medieval kingdoms, and I decided, why not put a storyline to it? So, It's included in the Fixxiverse, and I'm going to be playing 100 days hardcore Minecraft. Now, I want to tell you right off the front, this is not a hardcore server. In this server, if you die, you just go get your stuff and all that. But I'm not playing it like that. I'm playing it, if I die in this 100 days, that's it. I will never log on the server again. Look, that's a big risk for me because I love this server. I love playing with my friends. I love doing this medieval Conquest Reforged style. So I'm putting it on the line here. If I die in this next 100 days, I am done. With all that being said, let's get right into it. Day 1, Kingdoms of Conquest. Our ship was never intended to land on a planet. We had to use our escape pods to drift down to the surface and, well, they're not great at navigating. Our entire group landed spread out all over the place. Our ship, christened the Last Chance, continued on course under Tracy's command. Well, forever, I suppose. Without enough fuel to reverse, she'll just kind of drift. It's actually kind of sad when you think about it, I guess. She's just a computer, I know, but, she took care of us and saved us. It's obvious this planet was not quite as we expected. There were actually some structures here, a stunningly human-looking house. I don't know who these people, if they are people, and not little green men, I don't even know who they are, so I headed right on out of there. Before we left our moon base of Apuro, our chief engineer, Mr. Cott, outfitted each of us with special contacts that bring up a HUD. It's really nice. It allows auto mapping and us to be able to see where each other is in the world. Apparently most of my team landed far south, so I made a little boat and, well, I started quite a journey. Yeah, this journey's real. I traveled through the night and still the second day, I have a long way still to go. So I just kept on rolling far to the south. Day 3, more of the same. I'm getting close though. According to the map, I'm getting close to my friends and I am looking very forward to our reunion. I finally reconnected with my crew, and it was a great reunion, but they were already hard at work. It seems that the reality of our situation dawned on them as well. We may be here for a while. We have no idea how long it's going to take for our relay satellites to get the message back to Star Command of where we are, let alone the people of Tovalyn. Yeah, so with that being said, we need to make kind of a life here, and at least a place where we can gather resources and food and all that kind of stuff and just wait out our rescue. Apparently, while I was traveling, the crew got together and decided to use call signs as their names during the entire length of this mission. They are Jermsyboy, Klautos, Caluss, Low-Res, Chaos, Trikzon, and Lavi. It's good to have all the guys safely down the surface, and apparently they have been quite busy. They already dug out a bit of the mine, added some storage, and started some starter farms. I just jumped right into work. I found a few diamonds in the middle of the night mining, and I spent the entire day looking for more. I actually came out okay, ending a mining session with 11 diamonds, enough to make some more tools. That's a solid start. I started work on an underground farm, and it's almost done after just one day. I used slabs to cover the water that's hydrating the dirt, and lit up the area the best I could. There are an amazing amount of caves here. Also, we had a visitor today. A man calling himself Moriate dropped by. He spoke accent English, but was totally understandable. He was curious to where we came from. I just told him quite far away, and he seemed satisfied with that. He mentioned he might live near us. Our first friend? I hope so. If we're going to be here for an extended stay, we are going to need crops. And so, going along with that, I want to have some big crop fields up on top. And to do that best, I planted a bit of a seed farm down at the bottom. Now, the idea is this is not going to be an aesthetically pleasing farm, but it's going to be a way to harvest a lot of seeds very quickly and then go upside and actually plant them. And those will be the crops that we actually sell to maybe neighbors or open up trade routes and stuff like that. The seeds and the crops down here in the bottom, yeah, that's just for us to eat and survive, for now. I found a device that seems to spawn skeletons. This could work to our advantage. This skeleton spawner, if you will, could be dug out and made into a sort of farm. We could get bones from them and maybe even bows and arrows and things like that as well. Yeah, this could work out really well. So I spent the day sort of digging out a perimeter around it and getting ready to turn this into a farm. Add a few water streams, push them around, and boom, we have a functional experience and skeleton farm. Not bad. Is this the best design ever? No, it is certainly not. I am sure that we could do some things with pistons or lava or something, but you know what, for right now and for day 10, this is not bad at all. I farmed up enough levels for a level 30 enchant, and I got Fortune 3 on my first time. Yes! Yes! I used that to go mine up an absolute ton of diamonds. 34 diamonds. I feel like about as rich of a person as in this entire world. It's awesome. And with that, boom, diamond armor. Holy cow. I feel awesome. I feel like Superman. Less than 2 weeks in, fully armored. Awesome. I used up all the diamonds that I actually got on my new armor and another pickaxe, and, well, I went back to the mines to get some more tools for backup stuff and all that. The 8 of us have decided to share all of our resources, well, except for our own personal tools, so it'll be nice to have some gear I can enchant and get just the way I like it. Also, you know, side benefits, so much extra stone for building a safe place to wait out a rescue. You know, last night we were sitting around the campfire after eating dinner and talking about how long we thought it would be. I'll tell you, some of the guys, and guys who know what's up, like some pretty bright minds in our little group, think it might be quite a while. They were talking about something about space-time dilation, and I don't know. That's never been an area of focus for me, so I don't exactly know how long until Space Command can get here, but yeah, we better be prepared. Okay, what? What? Down in the mines, I came into a cave and there were zombies and some sort of creepy creeper little thing that blew up. Yeah, what? Again? What? Okay, I will say right off the bat, that changes absolutely everything. The fact that there are monsters on this planet waiting to come up behind me and explode, yeah, it's time to start building. So I found a little place very close to where the other guys are, and I started building a, well, I'm going to call it a manor house. I think it could be kind of cool. We have all this really light limestone looking block, and yeah, I think I could build a nice little house for it. You know, my parents used to live in something called a manor house down in the south of Georgia where I grew up, and yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun. Though I still only have the footprint, putting in the floor to the first floor feels actually really good. It's already beginning to feel like a real true house. Almost. Kind of. I mean, look, there's barely walls, but yeah, this is going to be great. I could actually see living here for a few weeks or even months, maybe. I hope not, but I can see making a place here that we can call home for now. I extended the walls a good bit higher, deciding I wanted to have a couple towers within my house. Look, there are monsters here after all, and plus, we don't know what the other people of this land think about us coming down here and starting a new little civilization. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea to have some sort of defenses set up. So this isn't exactly a mini castle. It's still going to be a house, but let's just plan for the worst and hope for the best, okay? But with all that being said, if I'm going to build a manor house, I'm going to want to have some big farms. I already thought I wanted farms, but now that I'm going full in on the manor house idea, yeah, I want a lot of farms. And I want a lot of wheat farms in particular. So back to the seed farm to dig out a second layer that's going to be exclusively for wheat and seeds. Nice. And more digging. Okay, after I got all the digging out, then I had to go up top and dig some dirt. That's fun. Digging so I can put down more stuff in the place I already dug, and anyway, you can't grow crops on stone, as far as I know, anyway. So yeah, gotta put down the dirt. I was talking to a couple of the guys, and they figured out a way to make thatch from wheat. So that's super cool. Not only are we gonna have a lot of wheat to eat and make it into bread and all that kind of stuff, but also we can actually use it for roofing. Well, okay, that's awesome. It's a weird thing, you know, I've been working here so diligently for 3 weeks now, just trying to get a little bit of a stable existence set up with some food sources and now a house and mines and working with my friends and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't until the rain hit today that I really kind of stopped and I looked around and I realized how much like home this feels. How could this even be? This is a planet far, far from Earth. Before us landing on this planet, we assumed that all planets were completely rocky, barren planets. There was no life anywhere. Star Command had looked. We looked everywhere for life, and there was none to be found. And yet, we land on this planet, and there is life everywhere. There are cows, chickens, oak trees, spruce trees. I mean, it's literally Earth in every way except for that it's not Earth. So, yeah, look, these questions are above my pay grade, but they are good questions, and I would love a good answer. I got the entire height of the walls put up on my Manor today, and actually, I like the shape. Who would have thought? Ensign Joe Green of Space Command ship Black Goat can build a good-looking house. I cannot wait to get home and tell my parents whenever we're rescued. My dad is going to be totally blown away. After getting the walls done, and when the rain finally let up, I decided to take a little walk and explore the area. Moriete, our native friend, who has actually really become a valued member of our group, decided to lay out roads for our little expanding village here, and actually, he led a few of the roads to some of the villages already existing on this continent. Yeah, we had no idea that there were actually roads here, but there are, and there are people. They didn't really want anything to do with me. It was almost night, and, you know, from the monsters I saw, I think they're aware of them, so they were going into sort of hiding in their homes for the night, and yeah, maybe I can come down here and help these guys out eventually. Be nice. Maybe put up a wall and help them defend against the zombies. Yeah, that'd be cool. I traveled very, very far to the west. It's good to just get our bearings a bit. And yeah, we have the map Tracy provided us, but, you know, it's different when you're actually walking around. I found a swamp and, thankfully, oak trees. Enough I can actually get wood for my roof. You know, I'm after two things here. Oak, yeah, I want the oak roof, but also saplings, because I believe with our advanced technology, we can turn oak saplings into other kinds of saplings, which could actually bring up more possibilities of different woods. Additionally, oak wood seems to be the only wood possible to make some of the really unique sort of medieval-inspired building things that they have on this planet. So it's something that I really want to get a lot of, and I want to have a renewable resource. So I'm looking for oak saplings by the dozens. I finally made it home, planted all my oak saplings, and I just want to kind of take a look around here. This place is coming along so well. Look at all these cool little arches going down the stairs, the skeleton spawner, it is all good. But I'm so close to level 30, I decided to go and grind that last level so I can get another enchant. I'd really enjoy having a Silk Touch pickaxe, but I'll take what I can get at this point. I built a very small storage area in my manor house. I don't need a lot of storage since we all are sharing all of our resources, but I want a place where I don't have to run constantly back. Not that it's far, it's just, you know, when you make 30 trips a day, it kind of gets old. But I decided to work on the roads connecting my manor house up to the rest of the little developing, what is it, village, town, city? I have no idea what we're building. How far are we going on this? I don't know. But the coolest thing I learned is, thanks to the stonecutter, we can actually make dirt layers, and it is so awesome to be able to build sort of a nice gradual slope up to my manor house entrance. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, come on, man, look at this. It's amazing. Yeah, it turns out I'm woefully short on oak. I just keep harvesting every time a tree grows, but yeah, it's going to take some time. These roofs are pretty big, and I decided to go with pretty tall, steep angles, so that actually means double the amount of oak that you require. But regardless, it's going to look great to have these nice high roofs. You know, when I was a kid, I used to play a lot of music, and in my parents' house down in Georgia, we used to have these very, very tall roofs. It was so great because you could just hear the echo, and the acoustics were so good. Look, I don't plan on really playing a lot of music in this world. I'm hoping to leave it soon, but while we're here, at least it's going to be nice to have a nice home. And would you look at that? The rain again. That's fine. It's fine. Your clothes dry eventually. But I did finish one section of the roofs, and for the first time in nearly a month of being on this planet, I can actually get in, out of the rain, in a real house, with walls, a floor, and a roof. Ugh, what a feeling. Well, since I was dripping wet, I decided what better time and place to build a fireplace. We're going to put right in this great room, build a bit of a mantle, put some furnaces on the back to do some food cooking, or iron cooking, I guess. And yeah, it's going to be really great. I made the decision on the roof. Again, I'm no architect. I'm really just winging this and going as we go here, but I decided I want to use more than one color of wood. So we have all these spruce trees right in the area, so I'm going to mix it up by adding some spruce, adding some dark oak, and along with the oak. I think it's going to look a lot better and be a lot more interesting. Also, I can harvest it like now, so it would be nice to actually get this building done eventually, so that'd be cool too. Check this out. So by using the stone cutter, I can actually take white concrete powder and turn it into plaster. I guess that makes a lot of sense. And look at this block. This is going to be so good to add to my house. Oh, I am loving this. I spent some time with my newly acquired dark oak and started building trim of where I'm going to put the white plaster on. This tower is going to be awesome and a great place to look out and make sure that we're all safe in the area too. Yeah, win-win. I vastly underestimated how much white plaster I'm going to want for the top of this tower. No big deal, I thought. I'll just get some gravel and some sand and make more. The problem is, white dye is easy to get to, but sand is way on the east. Gravel, the only gravel I've found, is way on the west of my little HUD map. So, yeah, let's go for a walk, I guess, today. I got a whole bunch of sand and then returned home to grind up some levels and get some food before I go to get some gravel. I'd really love to enchant my shovel if I got anything decent on it at all. Make gathering this a little bit faster, but yeah, again, like I say, I'll take what I can get. I spent literally 2 days gathering as much gravel as I could find. Man, this is how it comes. A piece here, a piece there, a little bit over there. Here's a little cave with a few. It is not that much fun to harvest, to be totally honest. Not that much fun at all. Yeah, it's just another day. It's just another day doing the exact same thing. But, you know, when I got to the point where I'm throwing out as much other stuff just to get the gravel, I think it's probably time to head home. More of the roof is coming. I did this one out of dark oak, and yeah, it's a really cool texture. It's a really cool look. I think it's going to make this little spire look really, really cool. It's going to make it stand out a lot, and I like that idea. I like the idea of the tallest tower standing out a lot more from sort of the lowest bits of roof. Yeah, cool. I woke up very early this morning on day 38 and just wanted to walk out and just take a look at my manor and how it's coming so far, and I think it looks good. You know what I miss? I miss coffee. No one brought coffee. I don't know how that's possible. We could just all get our stuff, pack up. Everyone brought food. The Black Goat provided a whole bunch of supplies for us, and no one put coffee in. Coffee! Coffee. I had another sort of a balcony on one of the medium towers. I figure you can't have enough of a good thing, and this is my second balcony, and I love it. I might do 3 or 4 or 5. This will just be a whole house of balconies. Why not? Everything is really coming along. You know, I want to keep working on my manor, but darn it, we have to eat. I still haven't heard or seen anything from Earth, not a rescue ship, not a communication of any sort. So, it may be a while. Time to get planting. Okay, I forgot one thing before we plant. I need a chimney. So I built this fireplace. I lit it, and there was nowhere for the smoke to go. That was terrible. So yeah, so I built a chimney over in the side of the great hall and great room, whatever you're going to call it. Maybe office? Library? I don't know what that room's going to be. And yeah, things are looking good. Man, oh, I love this so much. Okay, well, I've put it off for as long as I can, day 42, and it is time to get planting. Let's go! And just like that, I finished it. My first real farm in my life, and it's looking sweet. Look at this map. Look at the chateau. No, not chateau. Manor house. Darn it, it's not a chateau. It's something else that I don't even know what that is. Actually, that's a different word. I was talking to Moriete, and he was explaining Nether travel and how we can get to Conquest City. This is a city that is far to the north of us, and I wanted to go check it out. So, first thing I had to do, though, is I had to build a long nether path to get there, so it's slightly less perilous. Traveling in the nether is indeed scary. So for one thing, you can fall in lava at any second, and for another thing, there are these giant ghasts that will shoot fireballs at you, and they are horrible, horrible things. Not only do they almost kill you, or even do kill you, they also blow up the nether path that I've been working on for the entire day here, so that's not fun. But regardless, generally it's been okay. I've been hit a couple times by fire, but luckily my armor is decent enough that it put it out in not too long. So yeah, so just still working on the nether path. It's going to be really nice to have an easy way to establish some trade routes and all that kind of stuff down the road a bit. After I linked our nether portal with the Conquest City nether portal, I thought, hey, let's go check it out. Moriarty speaks about it like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, so yeah, let's see if I agree. Okay, yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. It's not a huge city yet, though it looks like they're building up like crazy here, but yeah, it's pretty great. So I looked around for quite some time, saw some of the locals, and well, I took some notes and I returned back safely home to our unnamed kingdom. I think we're gonna call it the Southern Kingdoms, right? It's a pretty good name. Hey, check it out. While I was gone working on the nether, I came back and all my wheat is fully grown. Look at this wheat field. I feel like a freaking farmer. That's amazing. I mean, come on. I could stand here all day and look at this. Wow, that's something else. You know, I'm discovering something about my manor house here. It needs to be split into rooms. It's just too big. I have these giant rooms. I don't really know what to put in them. They're just too big. So I'm going to spend the day today kind of subdividing it into smaller walls and hopefully coming up with some good ideas on, well, what rooms can be what and all that kind of stuff. Klautos had an idea that we should encourage some sort of communications with other towns and villages in our area. I think that's a great idea. So we set out today to build a bit of a trade camp here. The idea is that we'll have some wagons and some tents set up, and then people with goods, merchants or farmers or whatever, can come here with their stuff, and we'll set up a trade network. It's going to be a great way to trade for items, sure, but also for information. Get to learn a little bit about this world. Well, if you're going to build a bunch of tents for merchants and things, you need a lot of wool. Well, I tried. I brought 2 sheep back the entire way from the southern town that Chaos is working on, and we got almost to the end, and a wolf killed one of them. So I decided enough with that. Since we have the Nether network all set up, let's just hook up sort of a couple additional ones within our continent here. So I brought the second sheep here so we can start breeding them, and I'm going to set up a sheep farm. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have so much wool. Well, I need more stone. I want to start building my barn for my sheep while I'm waiting to breed them more. And to do that, I need stone. I need specifically cobblestone for this build. And it's actually kind of hard to find in this world. So I started to mine just a little bit higher than normal. So that way we're not going to get diamonds, unfortunately. But I do find that there's a lot more cobblestone around. So yeah, it's good to get that, I guess. Too bad about the diamonds, though. And today, I actually finished the barn. Look, this is a super fast build. A nice little angled roof. I think it's kind of fun. I do want to automate this ASAP, but to do this, I'm going to do lots of bows. And I want to check something. I went down to the skeleton mine and just grabbed a whole bunch of bows that we've just kind of collected as, you know, just junk. And I wonder if I can make dispensers with these used bows. That would be really nice because I do not have very much string at all. And it turns out that I actually can make it. It's freaking awesome. So with that, I made 16 dispensers using my used skeleton bows and returned back to the wool farm to actually get the automation process rolling. I've been breeding my sheep kind of every time I walk by, and I think I'm getting close to all 16. I want to start putting them in stalls here soon because I have all the dispensers already placed, so we should be just about good. I want to use glass in between the sheep stalls, reason being glass won't kill the grass underneath, which means whenever the sheep eats the grass, then the grass will have a lot of different opportunities to regrow in between it. So if that makes sense, you'll see it whenever it's all done. And this is where I ran into some problems. So the way I want to do the sheep farm is instead of using an observer to detect when the sheep eats the grass, instead what I want to do is I want to use a rail system that activates the dispenser every couple seconds, and then we'll either shear it if it can, or if it can't, no durability is wasted on the shear. So it's basically a win-win. I think it's kind of cool to have something moving also. I think it'll create a little bit of life in the kingdom and all that. But that being said, we are woefully short on iron, so it's time to get mining in a big way. Yeah, this is slow going. I don't really know a better way. I think we could make something like an iron farm or something, but that's so far away. We don't have a villager breeder or villagers or anything, so yeah, I'm just gonna have to manually mine for iron a lot. I got all 16 sheep, and I actually got them into their pens today. It's working pretty well. I actually ended up changing this a little bit later, but I went from a 2 long block area for the sheep to a 1 because I was losing wool because of the collection thing and whatever. It's fine. We got there. Pushing these guys in their little stalls was... that was not that much fun to do, honestly, but a lot of times if I just kind of watched, they would kind of randomly walk in and then I could just fence them off, like that dude right there. I made 16 detector rails that go all along the outside, and then I realized after I made those and placed them that doesn't work, and what I actually needed was activator rails, so... yeah, that's cool. So I made 16 activator rails and replaced them. And the idea is every time the minecart zips around outside of the barn, when it hits an activator rail, that'll create a red zone signal. And when it hits a red zone signal, the dispenser will attempt to shear the sheep. Underneath, I dug out this big basement in order to actually get the wool. I'll just have probably a minecart hopper underneath the grass, which will just suck the wool down through the grass and pick it up and drop it into a chest. This should be really great. I mean, I think we're very close to having this system done. I got the basement dug out and kind of designed, sort of, and I'm just ready to basically just drop some chests in and some hoppers. So here's what I need to make this work. I need a chest with a hopper, and then on top of that, I need to have a rail, and then on top of that, I need to have a minecart hopper. That's a lot of iron, again. So I spent the night again in the mines trying to find as much iron as I could. I finally got the last of my sheep pushed into these bins. A couple were just fighting me and I'd given up a couple days ago, but yeah, I finally got them pushed in, and I actually had more than I needed, so a few got to turn into mutton magically, so that kind of worked out well. This room is going to get prettied up eventually, but for right now, it's fine, it works, it keeps them in their pen, and that's what I care about. Let's do some quick math, shall we? 25 times 5 equals 120. Now that's plus 16 minecarts, which are 5 iron each. That equals 16 times 5 for just the minecart, so 80. So that equals 120 plus 80. An easy 200 ingots of iron is what I need, and I do not have nearly that much. So yeah. All right, mining. Some locals passed through our town, and I was complaining about how much iron I needed to set this up, and one of them suggested, hey, just travel over to this place, and you can get as much iron as you want just for a simple trade. So I made that journey, and I actually got all the iron that I need. Thank you so much. So now, basically, I got to skip all the endless mining, and I could hook up these hopper minecarts now. So, again, this is very expensive, but in order to provide all the colors of wool that we want all the time on command, that's definitely a trade I'm willing to make every day of the week. Next thing I had to do was actually start dyeing the sheep. So I worked to make all 16 colors of dye, and I realized that I'm short on just a couple things. I don't have green, I don't have lime, I don't have cyan, which actually requires green to make, and I don't have any cocoa beans. Those are found in jungles, and I've not been to a jungle. So I can make 12 out of the 16, and I do have a couple cactuses, or cacti, as it were, that I'm just going to kind of wait to grow, and once they grow, then I should have at least 15 out of 16. Not too bad. This is kind of the spot where I was worried about. Is this minecart system going to actually work? So I made a whole bunch of shears and I filled up the dispensers. I got the powered rails working with levers, which actually look kind of cool how they're all facing in on all sides. I was going to bury like maybe a redstone block or something underneath, but I thought these levers were just kind of cool. Also a lot cheaper too. And then I put the minecart on, and you had to give it a little push, and it works. It works fine. It goes to the end, it turns around, it comes back, and it just activates all these. And check it out. Oops. It is starting right now. Look at the wool in there. I got some wool. Now there's a lot of white wool. That's where all the green is, but there you can see light blue. There you can see blue. I have all the colors are starting to roll. Light gray, dark gray, black. Oh man, I'm so excited to build with all this wool. I suspected this a while back, but it turns out that oak wood is the only wood that will actually make chairs and tables and all the rest. Can't really explain how that is, but that is the way it is. So I spent all the day out at the future trader camp working on gathering oak and replanting saplings. Klautos and I planted a bunch out there just for that exact very reason, and it's good to have a place. Oak is a bit of a premium on our island here. There's basically none outside that little tiny swamp. So it's really, really important to not let any saplings go to waste. So every time we cut down a tree, we sit there and wait for all the saplings so we can replant them. I'd really like to have a big oak forest at some point, but that's down the road quite a ways. Well, it's finally time to decorate the inside of my manor, darn it. I am tired of living out of chests. You know, back when I was a kid on Earth, I used to always be amazed at people who would actually unpack their luggage when they check into a hotel. You know, all the hotels, you always have dressers and stuff. Who uses that? Who does that? Well, here we are 69 days into living on this planet, and I am still living out of a few random chests. It's time to move in, baby. I moved all of my temporary storage from my sort of office library area into this little mini tower over here. I think it's going to look a lot nicer, and I don't really have a use for this little tower, to be honest. And again, I need very little storage in my manor. All the main storage is sort of in that underground mine area that's community storage. So this is just for current project storage. It's not for like giant rows of dirt or whatever. I started using some of the vertical layers that we have. That's right, not vertical slabs, but vertical layers, as in like 2 pixels deep. It's super, super, super cool. And I wanted to really spend some time to divide up the rooms even further. Right now, as is, I have some divisions, but it's still not enough. My rooms are still too big, so I need to make them a lot smaller. And yeah, it's coming along. I like my progress so far. I really like this sort of office area. I have a desk, I have chairs set up, some tables. I added in some beams with supports, and things are coming along. Little hallways, little storage rooms, a kitchen, all that kind of stuff. I mean, really, I've never really thought about interior design, but this is very, very fun. I started planting another field today and just have tons and tons and tons of rows of carrots. And yeah, Caluss added another layer to the underground farms as well for sugarcane. Harvesting this is kind of like a full-time job, to be totally honest. It's a great system of this underground farm, but yeah, it takes a long time. Like, it basically takes a day to harvest the underground farm, and it grows in just a few days. So, you know, maybe we'll work on some sort of job board between the crew of the ship and everything. But for right now, I'm doing a lot of farming. Yeah, it's tree chopping day. Someone, and I don't know who, planted a whole bunch of birch around here. And actually, birch is a really nice wood to use to build with. So I really went and harvested all of it and replanted all of it. Also, I planted a lot of oak trees around the perimeter of my field. Now, my plan is oak trees can grow into 2 varieties. You get the small little dinky trees, or you get the really massive grand trees. My plan is to keep all the really big trees and cut down all the little ones to use for wood and more saplings. I think it's a win-win. Also, if I want to do more fields, I need a lot of leaves. So I've been shearing them. After I make sure I have a bunch of saplings in reserve, then I shear a bunch of oak leaves and just kind of keep them on hand for future farming use. You know, the back of the house is something that I have not really done much to. And if I want to address that, the very first thing I have to do is clear basically all the tall grass and all the weeds away. I don't think I'm going to have any just regular grassing into the house. I think it's all going to be either road or cropland or usable in some way. So, that all being said, I cleared all the trees around it, cleared all the weeds and all that kind of stuff, and just got it ready to plant and develop a little bit, especially around the side and around the back. 3rd crop field? What? Yeah, you know, I think it's time to work on these delicious little berries. Someone planted them here. Again, I don't really know who, but the way they were planted, I think, is kind of a temporary food source, and I want to make this a lot more of a permanent deal. So I got rid of all the tall grass around here. This is across the road from my house, and I just started laying out another field. I think this will look super cool, and if you want berries, how nice would it be just kind of walk down the row and pick as many berries as your heart's desire? I want to actually use some cobblestone for like sort of a flower field barrier kind of between the road and where I want to have maybe some rose bushes or something, but again, I'm out of cobblestone. It truly is, it's amazingly hard to get cobblestone. Diorite, andesite, granite, tons of that. Tons of, hey, hello diamonds. That's cool. I'll just silk touch those puppies. Yeah, things are going really well in the diamond department. I have over a stack now at this point, but I have way more diamonds than I have cobblestone, and that is a very odd problem to have. With all of my new cobblestone, I really went to town and work on these berries, and they grow super fast. It's really cool if you want to make a big field. So the way I did is I did 2 rows of path block and then 2 rows of berry, and just sort of repeated that. I generally don't like to plant things in a very, very, very straight row. I think it looks a little bit silly, but with these, since they're so difficult to harvest, I just decided that that would be the way we go. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. With my new cobblestone, I decided to surround my little tiny cactus field with stone, and I'm going to expand this eventually and just, I don't know, maybe make a checkerboard pattern. There's not a great way to grow cactus that doesn't look kind of ridiculous, but for right now, I just need actually green dye, so I'm just going to kind of plan it like that. But you can see the sort of idea I'm going with these cobblestone layers that I can make and little rows. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this and then repeat this again in the front on a couple different sides. Yeah, it'd be really nice instead of have crop striping next to the house, maybe all flowers. I think that would look really cool. I planted my last field today. I want another rose field. So we're going to go rose, then lilac, then rose right across the front of the house. I think it's going to look super, super, super cool. These rose bushes are incredibly beautiful, and the red works perfectly to play sort of against my little manor house here. Yeah, it's really nice. And, you know, it's so nice having a supply of bones so we can get as much as we want and not have to worry about it. So, yeah, things are moving well, but check out the colors. Isn't that nice? Super nice. And look at those berries. Oh, I mean, really, really, truly, it's really turning into a nice thing. I took a walk today. I just kind of felt like I need to break away. I've been doing so much farming, digging, building, and all that stuff. I just want to see what the other guys are doing. I almost feel like I've been sort of over here on my own for too long, so I thought, let's go over here and take a look. I'll be really honest, I didn't stay there very long because I feel kind of bad about myself. Like, that's next level building. It looks amazing. I mean, really, it's amazing. So, well, regardless, I've picked a theme here and I'm going to continue to work on it. So I planted more oak trees. Hopefully they'll get into the big ones, and I'm going to clear out 2 more fields. What? Not 1, 2 more fields. I want to go right in front of my sheep farm, wool farm area here and have 2 nice rolling fields. These fields are so nice. Why not exploit them? That's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, there's something to be said for the clarity that comes from just doing manual labor, and I've done a lot of it here over the last 85 days. You know, if they don't come and rescue us, or at least send word through the relay satellites in the next, say, 15 days, that's going to be 100 days. I don't know. I feel like at that moment, if we don't hear anything from Star Command after 100 days, we need to, well, maybe we need to start planning for our future here. With those sobering thoughts in my head, I just decided I need to sort of get my mind on other things. So I grabbed some of the wool that we have, and I made these great wool layers, and I'm going to work more on the trading camp. I'm very, very hopeful that some traders will come and see this and want to actually do some business here. Really, truly, there are some enchanted books that would change our lives if we could manage to get some traders here selling those, or, well, trading for them. So let's hope. I made enough stalls for up to 15 traders. I think Klautos is going to come back and work more on this as well, but for right now, I feel like we're in a good place. Maury has been talking about working the villager breeder now, so we should be able to get in some maybe babies here soon, and maybe bring them up in the ways of the wandering traders. I don't know. I came into town to get a drink, and yeah, apparently we have a bar now. We have a tavern. Would you look at this place that Caluss made? I mean, it's a legit tavern. What? Oh, wow. Wow. Well, the other thing I worked on is I worked on filling up the sheep farm. It's just the land around is pretty rough, so I did a little bit of minor terraforming around. I think there might actually be another crop field here in the future on the sort of the side of it, because I just like the way this looks. It adds a lot to the world and all that kind of stuff. The other thing I need is I need an actual way down to collect the wool, and I guess the easiest way would just be a ladder on the inside. Keep the zombies out, and I don't know, why not? I stopped by to see what is exactly going on with the villager breeder. I heard the guys talking about their plans of putting some villagers in boats and moving them to this little, I need to see it with my own eyes. You know, I gotta tell you, I don't know what I exactly expected. I mean, they were saying they were going to put villagers in boats, and I don't know. For some reason, I didn't think that I would just watch them put villagers in boats, but that's what I watched. So, yeah, there's villagers in boats now. The interiors are coming right along. I'm just loving all the customization. I'm not loving that I have like 400 rooms in my manor that I need to decorate, but that's okay. We'll get to it. And it's fun after all. It's not such a drag, you know. If we didn't have access to chairs and tables and all that kind of stuff, maybe it'd be a lot harder and a lot less fun. You know, if you had to imagine you had to sit on stairs or something, like how lame that would be, right? So, but, you know, fortunately we have chairs, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I do love this, though, for real. Living on Earth, we used to watch the Property Brothers show on HGTV all the time, and I always thought about what a fun thing that would be to do, but, you know, well, then it was all ruined when I learned that's basically all fake, and people don't keep the stuff, and the extra brothers are rarely involved, except for just a couple filming days through the entire thing, or, well, that's what I've been told anyway, thanks to the internet, but maybe that's wrong. Who knows? Sorry if I just ruined the show for you. It was ruined for me. I'm going to ruin it for you. I have one final roof I need in my manor, and it's actually the storage room roof. It's kind of funny. I didn't realize that it didn't have a roof until it was raining the other day. I was standing there sorting my chest, standing in the rain like a big freaking idiot. Anyway, hey, last roof, and then we are officially all roofed in. Pretty cool. I have something that's a little embarrassing to admit. Well, we human beings have to use the restroom from time to time, and, well, I don't have one yet. So 93 days in, I've just kind of been going over the hill and taking care of business there. Well, it's time that ends. So, darn it, we're going to make an outhouse today. I took my buckets and I made a small single-person outhouse. A little bath basin on the outside, and yeah, basically you'll just do your business inside the bucket. Then from time to time, we'll take the bucket over the hill and empty it out. Feels very glamorous. Not quite the bathroom facilities on the Black Goat like I'm used to. But, well, you know, it's better than the hill. Speaking of hill, funny enough, I decided to come out here and work on it a little bit today. So I took all the dirt off the hill because I thought it would be kind of cool to have like a little tiny mini mountain up here, and then on the bottom of it have a crop field. The way it is right now, the hill is quite steep, and I think crops would not be very fun to harvest. So what I want to do is I want to bring it down into a gradual hill and get rid of sort of the steep incline. And then at the same point, take the little tiny, I'm going to call it a mountain, but that's half tongue-in-cheek. But take the mountaintop and make sure that it's all stone on top just to make it look nice. And yeah, I think it's going to be quite good. I spent the entire next day clearing all of the weeds again. You know, it's nice that you get seeds and stuff for this, but yeah, what a freaking chore. So I had to clear all these weeds, replace all the podzol with dirt so I can hoe it, and got ready to plant. But you can't plant until you get rid of all this grass. There are a couple blocks that we're just swimming in at this point. One of them is granite. So I decided to make my little mountaintop granite only. So I think it's going to look nice. It looks good. Get rid of all this dirt. We'll just keep dirt at the very top. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really beautiful thing to look at, especially out my back window. Cabbage, baby. We got cabbage. So I planted rows and rows and rows of cabbage here. And man, I can't wait till it grows. Cabbage stew? Oh, man, if my mom and dad could hear me talk about how much I want cabbage stew now, they wouldn't even know who I am. But, yeah. Yeah, I'd really love to go home and eat some of Mom's cabbage stew. I sure hope they come and get us soon. I'm starting to lose hope. It's 98 days now. Look, I guess I haven't given up faith in Star Command, necessarily. I mean, I know it's not the perfect organization, but I know they'd never give up on their people. We just have to wait until the relay satellite does its job and beams our signal back to Earth. I was probably foolish thinking it would happen the first 100 days, but regardless, it will happen. I'm confident of that. Until then, I'll keep working with my crew, my family, to establish life here on this planet. We're beginning to reach out to other people in this world and make it a home. I sure hope it's a temporary home, but even if not, even if our signal never gets back, I'm here with my friends and I'm happy. This life isn't easy. Farming, building, gathering resources just to live one more day, but in the end, it's a good life. It's a life I could see living. And that's really what it's about in the end, isn't it? You know, I've been so consumed with thinking we're going to get rescued in the first 100 days that I haven't really looked around and taken stock with what I actually have. I'm here on a planet far from home, far from Tovalyn, far from any life that I knew before, but I'm here surrounded by my, well, not my crew, but my family. I'm with people who care about me and love me, and I've just been doing my own thing. I vow this. If we're here for another 100 days after this, I vow that I'm going to reintegrate myself in the crew. We're going to be together. We'll be building together. We're going to be creating a life here on this planet together as a family. Well, we did it. 1 year of Minecraft is complete. What a blast. You know, I know it's not exactly hardcore mode, but I would have played it legit. If I had died in those first 100 days, I would have absolutely never logged on the server again, and it would have broken my heart. But we didn't. We survived and we thrived. Look at what we did in only 100 days of this amazing, amazing mod pack. It's so good. If you want to grab it, I'm going to have the website linked down in the description. You can get it. Please support iLikeToGetRekt, who is basically running this entire show and in charge, and he did all the work. Rekt did everything. So give him some love on Twitch. His channel will be linked down below as well. Next 100 days video from this world will include some love from my friends. We're going to do a lot of stuff together. This one I didn't. I wanted this one to sort of feel alone as the story told. But the next one will have a lot more collabs and all that kind of stuff. So if you want that, if you're looking for that, leave me a comment down below. Okay, that is going to wrap it up for me. Special thank you to my patrons and my YouTube members who make everything I do possible. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all next time. Next video is 1 year of Minecraft. It's going to be some of the fallout of this, for the fallout of the crew disappearing, as well as further investigating the lore of the Inquisitors, which is a deep and a great one, and that is going to play into the lore here in the Kingdoms of Conquest server. We'll see you all next time. Love you all. Bye, everybody.